Assalamu alaikum, dear students of class 9th. My dear students, as you know, we are in touch with the topic potential energy. In the last video lecture, we have discussed about the concept of potential energy. Yes, and we came to know that it's actually the energy, it's a stored energy. Okay, it's actually the energy that is possessed by a body by virtue of its position or configuration. Whenever there is a change in the position of a body, work is said to be done on that body. That work that is exerted on that body is stored in the form of an energy in changing the position or in changing the configuration, that means the shape of a body. That work is said is transferred in the form of an energy in that object, in that body, and that work, that stored work, is simply called as potential energy. Okay, beta. So we are going to just move this, we are going to take this topic forward today. We're continuing on potential energy concept. Okay, beta. Depending upon the nature of forces operating in the system. Okay, beta. As we lift the body, that means we are doing some work in lifting a body. As we change the configuration of the body, that means we're applying the force on that object. So depending upon the nature of force operating in the system, potential energy of the system can be of different types. Okay, so we are going to just deal with the types of potential energy. There are three main types of potential energy, beta. I'm going to write those. Number first is gravitational potential energy. Number first is heading is types of potential energy. Types of PE, potential energy. Number first we have gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy. Okay, beta. Number second we have got elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy. And number third we have got electrostatic potential energy. Electrostatic potential energy. These are the three main types of potential energy, beta. Let's discuss them one by one. We have got gravitational potential energy first. Okay, I'll make you understand with a simple example. Let us suppose a body is lying on the ground. We have a body that is lying on the ground. We are applying the force in lifting this body. That means whenever we apply the force, the position of the body gets changed. Let us suppose it has to be lifted to a certain height above the ground, which is at a height of h from the ground portion. Okay, beta. हमने इस बॉडी को लिफ्ट करा है from one point. Let us suppose this is a point A to point B. Here now body is lying at this point. When we have applied the force, there is the net displacement in the upward direction. That means we have done the work. That means work has been done on this body. This work done on this body is getting stored. Is getting stored in this body now in the form of an energy. That means this body has possessed now potential energy at this point. Okay, beta. Now what this potential energy is simply called as gravitational potential energy. Why this is called as gravitational potential energy? Because we are doing the work against the gravity, beta. At every point इस body के ऊपर gravity act करेगी in the downward direction. That means some work has to be done in order to lift the body, in order to do the work against the gravity. Here the force applied over this body is against the gravity. There is a displacement against the gravity. So work has been done against the gravity. This work is stored in the form of an energy called as potential energy, and this potential energy is called as gravitational potential energy. हमें निकालनी भी है इसकी expression gravitational potential energy. What's that? That will be discussed in the later portion. Okay, this is actually the gravitational potential energy. So a system of two material bodies exerting gravitational attractive force on each other possess gravitational potential energy. Okay, let us suppose we have a body that has to be lifted from this point, from a ground portion to certain point at a height of h. Some work has to be done on it in order to change the position of the body from ground portion to a certain point which is at a height h above the ground. Some work has to be done, and this work yes, is stored in this body in the form of an energy which is called as gravitational potential energy. Okay beta, so this is all about the gravitational potential energy. Now what is elastic potential energy? Elastic potential energy is whenever there is a change in the configuration of a body, whenever there is a change in the configuration of the body, like in the first video lecture we have discussed about the spring. In the spring case, let us suppose this is a spring that is fixed at one end, okay, and I'm applying the force. When I apply the force over this spring, there is the change in the configuration of the spring. Either the spring will compress और the spring will relax अगर हम force ऐसे इस direction में करेंगे. So there is in both the cases what happens, there is a change in the configuration of the spring, configuration of the body. Either the spring will be like this, contraction, either, or it may be like this, okay, expansion. In both the cases work has been done by the force, by the applied force, okay. That work is stored in the form of an energy. अब यहाँ पे क्या होगा, this energy is called as elastic potential energy. This is not called as gravitational potential energy. Are you getting me? So we have got types of potential energy. One is gravitational potential energy. It's stored in the body. When an object is lifted to certain height, there is stored energy that is called as gravitational potential energy. When there is a change in the configuration of the body, there is also a stored work in this body. That stored work is in the form of an energy that is called as elastic energy. And number third, we have got electrostatic potential energy. Electrostatic refers to the charges. Okay beta, अगर हम like charges को, let us suppose we have got two different systems. They यहाँ पे positive like charges, they will repel each other. When they are going to repel each other, also let us suppose we have two unlike system charges, they are going to attract each other. अब देखो इन bodies को हमने क्या करना है, in order to just combine them, in order to move them towards, some work has to be done against their electrostatic attraction, because both the system are like, they are going to repel each other. Some work has to be done in order to just combine them, in order to just move them close to each other. Are you getting me? Some work has to be done. That work is stored in the form of an energy. That energy is called as electrostatic potential energy. Are you getting me? So in the same case, अगर हम इसको रिपेल करेंगे, इस सिस्टम को रिपेल करने के लिए हमने वर्क डन करना है. That work has to be done in the form of an energy. That energy is called as, that work is said to be stored in the form of an energy, in order to just move, in order to just make them aloof to each other, make them away from each other. That's why, because the system is unlike, they are going to attract. Some work has to be done in order to just make them aloof from each other, okay. Some work has to be done. That work is stored in the form of an energy. That energy is called as electrostatic potential energy. That is, it refers to the charges system in charges जो होते हैं system में, उनके बीच जो work done हम करते हैं, we are applying the force. That means work has to be done on that system, okay. That system is getting transferred, that system transfer this energy. Let us suppose we are doing the work, that work is getting just stored in the form of an energy, and that energy is called as electrostatic potential energy, okay. So it is depending upon the types of forces that are exerting in the system. We have got three types of potential energy. One is the gravitational potential energy, second we have elastic potential energy, and third we have electrostatic potential energy. Gravitational potential energy, whenever an object is lifted to a certain height, there is the energy stored in it, the energy getting stored in it at some height, that is called as gravitational potential energy. Whenever there is a change in the configuration of the body, then whenever there is a change in the shape of the body, the energy that gets stored in that object, in that body, that is called as elastic potential energy, and electrostatic potential energy. Whenever there is a change, there is a storage of this energy in the form of, in the charge system. That means some work has to be done in order to make the things close, in order to make the things away from each other. Some work has to be done. That work is getting transferred in the form of an energy, that is called as electrostatic potential energy. So it was all about the types of potential energy.